Absolutely ridiculous, ridiculous rumors because, in my opinion,
the drama surrounding Caitlin Clark's Team USA jersey number never should have existed in the first place. Yet for months it dominated conversations, timelines, and comment sections as if it were proof of something sinister. What made it exhausting wasn't just the rumor itself, but how aggressively it was defended by people who had already decided that Team USA must be disrespecting her. Now that Caitlin Clark has finally addressed it herself, the entire controversy collapses under the weight of basic facts. And the real story isn't the number she wore. It's how easily misinformation spreads when emotion replaces understanding. For months, a simple practice jersey became a symbol of imagined disrespect. People convinced themselves that Team USA deliberately denied Caitlin Clark her iconic number 22 as some kind of message, a slight, or an attempt to humble her. It turned into a full-blown conspiracy, despite there being a clear and boring explanation from the very beginning. When Clark calmly explained how the process actually works, it wasn't relief that washed over the conversation.
We're going to get better from this, but we have to come in every game with the same consistency defensively.
It was fatigue. Fatigue from defending something that never needed defending. At Team USA training camps, newcomers don't get to choose their numbers. They don't get their WNBA numbers. They don't get special treatment. Veterans who have already made Olympic rosters keep their Team USA numbers because they've earned them. Everyone else gets assigned whatever is available. Random. Temporary. No symbolism attached. Caitlin Clark didn't choose 17. Nobody asked her. It wasn't a message. It wasn't intentional disrespect. It was standard procedure. What makes this even clearer is that Team USA deliberately avoids giving newcomers their actual professional numbers during camp. Clark didn't get 22. Paige Buchers didn't get 5. Angel Reese didn't get 5. No one did. That alone should have ended the debate before it started. But outrage doesn't thrive on facts. It thrives on interpretation. The confusion was made worse by people misunderstanding international basketball traditions.
that's actually not a rule. Team USA just do it because it's tradition. It was a rule. In fairness, it was a rule until a decade.
4 years. International competition followed strict number rules. Numbers outside a certain range weren't allowed. That rule no longer exists globally, but Team USA kept part of it voluntarily. Not because they have to, but because they want to. It's tradition. It's legacy. And that distinction matters. Team USA basketball treats jersey numbers differently because they want representing the country to feel bigger than a regular season game. Each number carries history. Each number has a lineage. Players who wear those jerseys are connected to everyone who wore them before. That's why Team USA limits numbers. Not to restrict players, but to preserve meaning. When you put on that jersey, you're stepping into something larger than yourself. That context was available the entire time. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't secret. People who have actually played international basketball have explained this repeatedly. But none of that mattered once the narrative took hold that Caitlin Clark was being targeted. Evidence didn't matter. Experience didn't matter. Only the feeling that she must be under attack. Here's the reality that gets lost in all of this. Caitlin Clark herself understood the situation perfectly. She wasn't offended. She wasn't confused. She didn't complain. She explained it plainly and moved on. The outrage wasn't hers. It belonged to people projecting their own fears and frustrations onto her career. And that reveals a deeper issue within modern sports discourse.
Did come out to play. I think a couple of the girls really came to show up, but I can't say that we all did.
Fans don't just support players anymore. They build identities around them. They start to see every neutral decision as hostile, every standard rule as a personal attack. At that point, facts become irrelevant because the story is no longer about basketball. It's about defending a narrative. Team USA basketball, more than almost any other national program, relies on tradition to create meaning. Unlike most international players, American stars don't grow up viewing the national team as the ultimate goal. In many countries, representing your nation is the highest honor in the sport. In the United States, professional championships often matter more. That's why Team USA has to manufacture a sense of legacy and pride through rituals, symbols, and traditions. The jersey numbers are part of that. Breaking those traditions for popularity would undermine the entire system. And that's why Caitlin Clark likely will never wear 22 for Team USA. Not because she isn't valued, not because she isn't respected, but because Team USA doesn't change its identity for any individual, no matter how famous. That consistency is exactly why the program has dominated for decades. The irony is that Caitlin Clark doesn't need exceptions. She's already proven she belongs. She adapted to the physicality of the WNBA. She made the All-Star team. She continues to build her game. If she earns a permanent roster spot,
I think people just take it like we hate each other. Like, me and Caitlin Clark don't hate each other.
she'll earn a Team USA number the same way everyone else does. Through performance, not popularity. What this entire episode really exposed is how quickly Clark's fan base turns normal professional operations into imagined battles. First it was physical play, then all-star voting, then Olympic roster debates, then a practice jersey number from months ago. At some point, it's fair to ask whether this constant outrage actually helps her, or whether it creates unnecessary noise around a player who is handling her career just fine. Because from where it stands, Caitlin Clark doesn't look like someone who needs saving. She looks like someone who understands the system, respects tradition, and is confident enough not to turn every inconvenience into a headline. She handled this situation the same way she's handled most of her career. Calmly, professionally, without drama. In the end, the truth is simple. Caitlin Clark wore number 17 at Team USA camp because that's what she was assigned. She didn't wear 22 because Team USA doesn't operate that way. There was no message, no disrespect, no conspiracy. Sometimes a jersey number is just a jersey number. The real lesson here isn't about Team USA or Caitlin Clark. It's about how quickly misinformation can grow when people stop asking how things actually work. So now that the facts are clear, the question becomes this. Do you think constant fan-driven controversy helps or hurts a player like Caitlin Clark in the long run? And should fans learn to separate real issues from manufactured ones?